The ninth floor doesn't exist, unless you remember. The woman came looking for a gold thimble, but she was really looking for herself. She stepped inside a department store, a temple of form, of fashion, of forgetting. She boarded an elevator that no one else could see, guided by a man no one else seemed to notice. He said it plainly, "This is the express elevator to the ninth floor. Not the third, not the seventh, not the 12th, the ninth. A number just high enough to sound real, but just hidden enough to be denied." They told her there was no ninth floor. Just like the ego tells the sleeping Son of God, there is no heaven. Just like it says, there is no spirit, no other world, no other identity. But the elevator went up anyway, because truth cannot be erased by denial, only hidden, and only for a time. She steps off. The floor is empty, silent. Nothing but one single shining item, a gold thimble, the exact thing she came for. Everything else is gone, because spirit offers only what heals, nothing else. The rest of the world's glitter, that was never real. She didn't just enter a floor, she entered a mirror, a space between illusions where her self started whispering again. The gold thimble and the scratch of the ego. The thimble is gold, pure, radiant and small enough to be overlooked. But it is also a tool of creation. It guards the hand from harm while sewing. It protects the one who weaves. Passed from mother to daughter, it holds inheritance, protection, and love. She buys it with cash, no receipt. And the ego is immediately suspicious. Where's your proof? Where's your receipt? Who told you to come here? The ego demands evidence because it lives by the body's laws. But truth doesn't need a receipt, because real value is not purchased. It's remembered. Later the thimble is scratched. That's the metaphor, mighty companion. Everything in the ego's world is scratched. Everything it offers has a flaw. Even the one thing she thought was perfect, damaged. Why? Because that's how grievance enters. The Course says, "What you think you did to me, I did to myself." The scratch is a projection of guilt. She demands justice, seeks the complaints department, which is on the 3rd floor. 3. The number of sin, fear, and guilt, the unholy trinity of the ego's court. But there is no justice in form, because the crime was never real, only the forgetting. The thimble was never broken. It was the belief in separation that was scratched. The mirror that shocks her awake. Then comes the turning point. She sees herself in the mirror and jumps, not because she changed, but because she remembered. Her reflection is a mannequin, lifeless, still, familiar. And suddenly the mannequins move, not to attack her, to welcome her. They call her name, not once, but over and over. Marsha, 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 because they never forgot her, even when she forgot herself. They are not enemies. They are echoes, sleepers, brothers. Every mannequin is a symbol of the part of the sonship still waiting, still paused in the dream, still believing it has become form. They do not drag her back. They remind her. They say, "It was your turn to return. You were only meant to stay 1 month, but you forgot. That's all that ever happened. We forgot. And it was forgiven before it even occurred." When she screamed, it was the ego's fear of reunion. But the Holy Spirit only speaks in peace. The store has no 9th floor until you take it. Back in the complaints department, they say, there is no 9th floor. They say it like it's fact, like it's law. But she knows what she saw. She knows where she went. And she knows what she found. The ego says the floor doesn't exist, because it cannot control it. The 9th floor is spirit, completion, the last dream before waking, and the elevator. It only opens when you're ready. When you stop looking for proof, when you stop chasing receipts, When you stop thinking you're just another customer, you're not. You're the child of God. And every item in that store is a symbol for what you already have. You don't buy forgiveness. You wake to it. The 9th floor is not a location. It's a condition. And only remembrance takes you there. 1 month out. 1 lifetime too long. Marsha took 1 month to walk among the outsiders. 1 lifetime. 1 cycle of dreaming. And it was enough to make her forget the truth. That's how convincing the ego is. It paints mannequins with faces and gives them names. It gives them emotions and phones and stairways that don't open. It builds complaints departments and refund policies. It does everything it can to keep you from remembering that you were never born here. You just arrived. And you're only visiting. And the others, the mannequins, the brothers, they wait their turn too. All of them will awaken. No one is left behind. Not even the ones who wear masks. Especially not them. The world says they are lifeless, but they are the quietest listeners of all. Her still form is not death, it's peace. When they finally show her again, still, poised, calm, it's not death. It's remembrance. No more panic. No more flight. No more mirrors. She no longer needs to see herself in form. Because she knows what she is beyond it. She becomes a symbol in the dream for those still wandering. The wooden lady with the painted face, who, once a month, remembers the world is not her home. And in that, there is peace. The 9th floor wasn't in the store directory, because it was never part of the store. It's where the store ends, and the memory begins.